A week before my brother's wedding, I got an anonymous message about his fiancée. What I discovered uncovered a web of lies, infidelity, and a criminal past that could have destroyed our family. My name is Igor. I'm 32 years old, living in Lviv, and I work as a power engineer. Pretty ordinary life. Wake up, work, get stuck in traffic, eat dinner, scroll through some Netflix, go to sleep. Nothing crazy. But this story, it's the furthest thing from ordinary. It's about my younger brother, Andriy, and how I might have destroyed his life, or maybe saved it. I still don't know which. Andriy is 28. One of those golden boys everyone likes. Kind, charming, never gets into fights, helps our mom with groceries, always remembers birthdays. He started dating this girl, Tanya, about 3 years ago. At first, we all loved her. I mean, she was polite, pretty, brought wine to family dinners, even helped clean up. Mom adored her, started calling her our future daughter-in-law after just a few months. But after about a year and a half, something felt off, just a little, a vibe. Tanya would never stay alone with any of us. If I walked into the room, she'd suddenly remember she had a call. She never asked about Andriy's work, never made eye contact with Dad, and always dodged questions about their future, like kids, housing, anything remotely long-term. And once, I overheard her snapping at Andriy when she thought no one was home. Not just annoyed, cold, nasty. She talked to him like he was beneath her. But when I entered the room, she smiled like nothing happened. Andriy acted normal, so I stayed out of it. After all, it was none of my business, right? Fast forward to the spring. Andriy tells me he's proposing. I hugged him, told him I was proud. I didn't say anything else, because maybe, just maybe I was wrong. They set the wedding date for June. The whole family kicked into planning mode. Florist, DJ, menu tasting, the works. Tanya acted like everything was perfect. Andriy looked like he was floating through life. Then, just 2 weeks before the wedding, I got a telegram message from an anonymous account. No profile picture, no name, just one sentence. Tanya isn't who she pretends to be. If you really care about your brother, stop the wedding before it's too late. That message sat on my phone for nearly a full day before I did anything. I kept rereading it like it might change, like maybe it would disappear and I could pretend I never saw it. But it didn't disappear. And deep down I felt something was off with Tanya. This just confirmed it. Still, I didn't want to jump to conclusions. So I did what any paranoid older brother would do. I started digging. I checked Tanya's Instagram. Her life looked curated to perfection. Coffee shop selfies, motivational quotes, pictures with Andriy at fancy places. Nothing suspicious at first glance. But then I scrolled back, way back. About 6 months ago, I found a post of her on a balcony at some boutique hotel. The caption said, "Weekend to recharge dizzy, no boys allowed nail polish." I remember that weekend. Andriy told me she was at a girls-only retreat in the Carpathians. Then I opened the comments, and one stood out like a flashing red light. Didn't expect to see this posted after last night, grinning face with sweat. From a guy named Rostic. Wait, who the hell was Rostic? I clicked his profile. Public. That was the first mistake Tanya made. His feed was full of gym pics, dog photos, and then, boom, 3 pictures with Tanya. One of them, same balcony, same weekend. But the caption? Best weekend with my girl Blue Heart. I stared at the post. It had been up for over 5 months. Did Andriy know? Did he see this? Was this real? There were more photos, one at a restaurant, one at some spa, one on a hiking trail. All recent. All within the last year. All with Tanya. One comment hit me, like a punch to the chest. Didn't think you'd post this. Thought we were keeping things private? Tanya, 3 months ago. I closed my phone and just sat there. My pulse was in my throat. Was this what the anonymous message warned me about? But what was I supposed to do? Show Andriy screenshots 2 weeks before his wedding and say, "Surprise, your fiancé might be cheating on you"? What if I was wrong? What if this was all innocent somehow, just a misunderstanding? Or what if I was right and staying silent would ruin him? I debated with myself for 3 days. 3 days of pretending everything was fine while my brain was on fire. I watched Andriy show me the seating chart with this big, stupid grin on his face, and all I could think was, your whole life is about to collapse, and you have no idea. I had to know the truth. Not guesses, not theories. So I messaged Rostik. Me? Hey, I think we need to talk. It's about Tanya. He replied in less than 5 minutes. Rostik, who's asking? Me, her fiancé's brother. Rostik. Holy shit. Meet me tomorrow? We met at a tiny cafe outside the city center. Rostik showed up in a leather jacket, clearly nervous. He ordered a black coffee and sat down across from me like he was preparing for war. So, he said, you really her fiancé's brother? I nodded, and then, without even needing me to explain, he dropped a bomb. We never officially broke up. I blinked. What? Me and Tanya. We were dating for a year. She told me she was figuring things out. Said she needed space. That was a few months ago. But then she'd still text me. Still meet up sometimes. Last time I saw her was, I think, like 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Less than a month before the wedding. She told me she wasn't sure about marrying someone she didn't feel safe with. I thought she was talking about me. Guess not. I didn't even know what to say. My stomach felt cold. Was Andriy the someone she didn't feel safe with? What the hell was she telling people? Look, Rostik said, I'm not trying to ruin your brother's life. But if she's playing both of us, he deserves to know. So do I honestly. I agreed, but I also knew one thing for sure. I couldn't just walk up to Andriy and dump this on him. Not without a plan. Not without proof. So I asked Rostik for screenshots, messages, pictures, anything. He sent them to me that night. And then I saw it. A text from Tanya to Rostik from just 6 days ago. Tanya, he still thinks I love him, LOL. Tanya, just 2 more weeks and I'll have everything. I didn't sleep that night. I just kept reading those texts from Tanya over and over. He still thinks I love him, LOL. Just 2 more weeks and I'll have everything. What the hell did everything mean? Money? Status? Or was this something worse? I felt like I was holding a grenade with the pin halfway pulled out. If I showed this to Andriy now, it would blow everything up. But if I waited too long, she'd win. I decided to keep quiet. For now. The next day, I started paying attention. Like really paying attention. Every word she said, every glance. Every time she touched Andriy's arm and laughed a little too hard at nothing. It all looked fake now. Like a play I'd already seen once and knew the ending. I tried to act normal. Tried not to let it show that I knew. But Tanya, she noticed. It was subtle at first. The way she looked at me a beat too long at dinner, or how her smile dropped for a split second when she caught me watching her. And then, one night, it wasn't subtle at all. It was 4 days after I met Rostik. We were sitting at the family table. Just me, Andriy, Mom, Dad, and Tanya. She was helping Mom with napkin arrangements or something pointless like that. Suddenly, she turned to me and said, Igor, you've been quiet lately. Everything okay? I looked up from my plate. She was staring straight through me. Yeah, I said, just tired. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. You sure? You seem distracted. That was the moment I knew. She could tell. She didn't know how much I knew, but she knew I was watching her now, and I think she liked it. Later that night, I got another message. Not from the anonymous Telegram account. From an unknown number. No name. No intro. Just a photo. A picture of me. Sitting at the cafe with Rostik. And text. Careful where you stick your nose. I stared at that message for a full minute. Careful where you stick your nose. It wasn't signed. No number. No follow-up. Just that single photo. Me and Rostik at the cafe. Sitting across from each other like co-conspirators. Which, I guess we kind of were. Was Tanya following me? Did she have someone watching? Did Rostik sell me out? I didn't know. But I did know one thing. I couldn't do this alone anymore. I thought about who I could trust. Not Andriy. Not yet. Not my parents. They adored Tanya and were too emotionally invested. Not my friends. They'd think I was being paranoid or jealous or overprotective. Then I remembered Anna. Anna was my cousin. We grew up like siblings. She was 2 years older than me, had a PhD in psychology, and never took crap from anyone. More importantly, she hated fake people. She could spot a manipulator from a mile away. I called her. Didn't explain anything on the phone. Just asked to meet the next morning. We met at her apartment. No coffee shop this time. I wasn't taking any more chances of being seen. I laid everything out on the table. The telegram message, the Instagram photos, the text from Tanya to Rostic, the unknown number that took the picture of me. Anna listened without interrupting once. Just nodded and took notes in her phone, like she was profiling a serial killer. When I finished, I finally said, "So, am I crazy?" She leaned back, crossed her arms, and said something I wasn't ready for. "No, but you're in way over your head. Tanya's not just cheating," she continued. "She's manipulating him. Probably you, too. And I bet money this has been going on longer than you think." I felt both validated and terrified. "So what do I do?" I asked. Anna didn't hesitate. "You don't go to Andriy yet. He won't believe it unless it comes from her, or unless it's undeniable. You let her think she's still in control while we find a pressure point." That night, we started planning. And what we found the next day, it changed everything. Anna was ruthless when she got into research mode. She called it her deep dive mode. I called it terrifying. While I was pacing the apartment, rereading Tanya's text to Rostic for the 10th time, Anna was already 3 layers deep into old social media accounts, tag photos, and databases I didn't even know existed. She didn't say much for a while, just scrolled and clicked and typed. Then, about an hour in, she stopped cold. "Okay, got something." She turned the laptop toward me. It was a blurry group photo. Someone's birthday, probably from at least 4 years ago. Tanya was in the back, barely visible. Next to her was a guy I didn't recognize. "That's Danilo," Anna said. "Tanya's ex. They dated in 2019, according to some now-deleted posts. She scrubbed a lot of it, but not all." I was about to ask why it mattered when Anna opened a news article. Local paper, March 2020. Headline, "Local man hospitalized after fall. Foul play not ruled out." There was a photo of the guy from the birthday party. "Danilo." I felt my stomach twist. "Wait," I said. "You think she?" Anna held up a hand. "Listen to this." She read aloud. The victim's injuries were consistent with a push or sudden impact. He sustained a concussion and spinal trauma. While no charges have been filed, investigators noted inconsistencies in witness statements, particularly from the victim's then-girlfriend, whose identity is being withheld. I didn't say anything. I couldn't. Anna clicked back to Tanya's old Instagram. There was a gap, a full month missing from her feed, right around that time. "You still think this is just a love triangle?" Anna asked. "She's not just a liar. She's dangerous." That word rang in my head all night. Dangerous. I looked at Tanya the next time we saw her, smiling, laughing, holding Andriy's hand, and all I could think was, what else has she done that we don't know about? And more importantly, why is she marrying my brother? A few days after Anna showed me the news article about Danilo, my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. I opened it, expecting more threats or nonsense. But it was different. "I know who Tanya really is. If you want to save your brother, meet me at Café Lviv tomorrow at 6 p.m. Come alone." No name, no photo, just that. I was torn. Was this another trap or a chance to finally get answers? I decided to go. The next evening, I arrived early and sat in the corner, nervously sipping coffee. A woman in her late 30s approached, sharp eyes, confident stride. She sat down without waiting for an invite. "Igor?" she asked. I nodded. "My name's Oksana. I used to work with Tanya before she vanished." Her voice was calm but carried a weight I couldn't ignore. "You need to know what kind of person she really is." Oksana told me Tanya had a history of disappearing from jobs, changing cities, and leaving behind problems. Unpaid debts, angry landlords, even accusations of theft. She's a master manipulator, Oksana said. She hooks someone, then uses them until they're nothing. Andriy's just her latest victim. She handed me a small envelope. Inside were photocopies of old eviction notices, bounce checks with Tanya's signature, and messages from former roommates warning others. Your brother deserves better, Oksana said firmly. Don't let him marry her. I left the cafe shaking. This wasn't just cheating or secrets anymore. It was a pattern, a lie spun for years. Andriy was walking into a trap. I told Anna everything after meeting Oksana. She nodded grimly. You have to confront Tanya. But be careful, she's good. The next family dinner, I waited for the right moment. After dinner, when most had cleared out and only Tanya and I were left in the living room, I looked her straight in the eyes. Tanya, I need to talk. She smiled, that practiced, perfect smile. Of course, Igor. What's on your mind? I took a deep breath. People have been talking about your past, about you disappearing, leaving people behind. Her smile flickered for a fraction of a second. I don't know what you mean. I have proof, I said, pulling out the envelope Oksana gave me. Her eyes sharpened. Are you trying to ruin my wedding? I shook my head. I'm trying to save my brother. For a moment, silence. Then she laughed. A cold, sharp laugh. You don't know anything, Igor. You're just a scared little brother trying to play hero. Andriy loves me. You'll see. Everything will be perfect. I realized then she believed her own lies. After my confrontation with Tanya, things changed. Not instantly, but subtly. Andriy started asking questions. Not directly about Tanya, but about me. Igor, why have you been so distant lately? Is everything okay with you? Why won't you tell me what's going on? I dodged most questions, afraid to shatter his happiness. But I could see it, the doubt growing in his eyes. One night, we were out having a beer and he finally said it. Do you think Tanya is hiding something from me? My heart skipped. I wanted to scream, to tell him everything. But I held back. I don't know, Andriy. I just want you to be careful. He nodded but looked away. That's when I realized the wedding wasn't just about two people anymore. It was about trust. And everything was crumbling. Meanwhile, Tanya was watching us both closely. Her smile was still there, but it no longer reached her eyes. And the messages kept coming. Anonymous texts, warnings, threats. One night, my phone buzzed again. Stop digging, or you'll regret it. I couldn't stop. Every warning only made me dig harder. Anna helped me get access to some records, old rental agreements, police reports, even a small civil case Tanya had quietly lost. But the real breakthrough came when I found something no one expected. A hidden bank account, not in Tanya's name, not under her alias. It was connected to a shell company, set up just months before the wedding. Money was moving in and out, large sums. Anna told me this is how she plans to get everything. She's setting up to vanish with a fortune right after the wedding. That night, I showed the evidence to Andriy. He stared at the documents for a long time. Why didn't you tell me sooner? He asked quietly. I had no answer. We have to stop this, he said. No matter what. But Tanya wasn't done. The threats escalated. One evening, when I got home, my door was slightly ajar. Inside, my apartment was ransacked, drawers pulled out, papers everywhere. Nothing was stolen. Just a message scrawled on my bathroom mirror. Last warning. After the break-in, Andriy finally believed me completely. He looked shaken but determined. We're in this together, he said. No more secrets. We decided to gather all our evidence and confront Tanya publicly. At the next family meeting, with Mom and Dad there too, the day came. I laid out the photos, the messages, the bank documents. Tanya sat there, expression unreadable. At first, silence. Then a slow, chilling smile. You think you can stop me? She said. You don't know what I'm capable of. Andriy stood up, voice steady but angry. You lied to us. To me. You used us. Tanya's eyes flashed. You don't owe me. After that, things spiraled. We found out Tanya had contacts, people who worked in shady deals, who owed her favors. Threats escalated to intimidation. Strange cars near the house. Unmarked calls. But we had one advantage: the evidence. Enough to take to the police. We filed a report. Tanya was arrested the day before the wedding. Tanya's arrested our family like a bomb. Mom refused to believe it at first. There must be some mistake, she kept saying. Dad was silent, his face pale. Andriy was shattered. The man he thought he'd marry was a stranger. He stopped talking for days, barely eating. But in the silence, something unexpected happened. We started to rebuild. Anna helped Andriy through therapy. Mom and Dad tried to understand how they'd missed the signs. I realized I had to step up, not just as a brother, but as a protector. Meanwhile, Tanya waited trial, her web of lies unraveling in court, her manipulation exposed. Sometimes I wonder, what if I hadn't listened to that anonymous message? Would my brother have lost everything? I don't have all the answers. But one thing is clear: family means watching out for each other, even when it hurts. The courtroom was packed. Tanya sat there, calm and collected, like she was still performing for an audience. But during the trial, a surprising witness came forward. Someone from Tanya's past no one knew about. A man named Victor. Victor claimed to have proof that Tanya was involved in something far worse than manipulation or fraud. He said she had connections to a criminal group, linked to illegal financial schemes and even intimidation tactics. The prosecution presented documents and intercepted calls. The evidence was damning. Tanya's smirk faded. For the first time, we saw the real danger behind her mask. After weeks of intense testimony, the verdict came down. Tanya was found guilty on multiple counts: fraud, conspiracy, and intimidation. She was sentenced to several years in prison. The relief was overwhelming, but it came mixed with sadness. Our family had been torn apart. Andriy struggled to trust again, but slowly began to heal. Mom and Dad supported him every step of the way. For me, the fight was far from over. I vowed to protect my brother and rebuild what Tanya almost destroyed. The wedding never happened, but a new chapter began, one built on truth, trust, and family. Looking back, I realize how close we came to losing everything, how easy it is to be blinded by love and hope. But sometimes, love means facing harsh truths, protecting those you care about, even when it hurts. Andriy is still healing. Our family is still mending. And me, I've learned to trust my instincts, to speak up when something feels wrong. Because sometimes, that's the only way to save the people you love.